Here's the finished Mellor lathe safety guard, and I'll take you through some of the additional features that I've included since the last video. So I've fabricated the front guard, and I've put a lip on the inside, the same as I did down here, and I've put a couple of bolts through there so that if I need to, I can get that front guard off. But unlike this guard here, where I'm going to need to get it off fairly regularly to change the speed, this one I don't see that I'm going to have to get it off too often, so I've just left it as a nut and bolt. These here, I said I was going to make some sort of butterfly bolt arrangement so I can just get it off without the use of a spanner, and as you can see there, it works quite nicely. So the next thing that I'm going to do is paint it, and once I've painted it and got it back on, I'll show you what it looks like. Here we are then. Here's the finished Mellor lathe safety guard. Just before I get into how it's all gone together and I'll show you how I've attached it, I had a message from a chap called Chris Mills, so thanks Chris for your message. He doesn't like it. He said it looks a bit like a hamster cage, but as I told him, I think I'd rather keep all of my fingers than ruin the look of an old lathe. And in any case, if I don't like it, I can always take it off. So let's have a look at the features and how I've actually attached it. So I chose black, mostly because it blends in and it's a contrast to the red. I've attached the front guard here, and that's all looking fine. So first of all, let's have a look at the main attachments. So I've got a bolt going into the lathe here. Now where the bolt goes in, let's see if I can focus it, there was an existing hole already in there, so I haven't needed to drill any more holes into the lathe, and the same one goes there. Now I don't really know what the holes are for, but they go all the way through into this cavity here, and I thought initially it might be an oil drain, but it's a bit too high for the lip, and in any case there's a gap that goes all the way down between the two sides of the lathe all the way to the floor, so I don't think it's that. Either way, all I did was I tapped the hole to 8, I think it's M8. Anyway, I've tapped the hole, and now I can just put the screw in there. The back of here, let me get some light. There we go. On the back of here, on the back of the motor, there were holes already there. You can see one that I haven't used just down here. So these holes go all the way forward, and I've put a little lip in there, and then I've welded a nut onto the back of that. Same on the other side, and that keeps the whole top half of it really steady. Moving around to the other side, so this was the motor mount that I fabricated. That's going really well actually. It's completely solid, and what I did there was I just drilled through the angle iron and then tapped an M8 hole in there. I cut the end of the nut off, as I said I was going to, so that I haven't got a yard of bolts to screw in every time I wanted to take the guard off. And I was going to attach this part here I was going to attach this part here to the actual support for these pulleys which adjust the speed, but in the end I bent it to this sort of shape here. It gives me access to get underneath to these nuts and bolts if I need to, and it feels quite sturdy, so that's fine. Now this is a bit that I need access to regularly. I've got to get to these pins here so that I can gauge the back gears, and I also will need to change the speed from time to time. So the way that works is I've got these nuts and bolts, and I put this little tab on the end to make it like a butterfly bolt, and it's pretty easy to get it off. Let's get the other side off. There we go. So with that off, the whole thing just lifts off. And now I can easily get in here to take these pins out, and I can easily get in here to change the position of the belt, which will change the speed. So all in all, I'm really pleased how that's gone together.